What's in your box? Oil filter housings like this are becoming more and more common on today's vehicles. In one modular unit, they contain the filter, multiple sensors, and act as an oil cooler. As with many new OE products and designs, there have been issues, especially with earlier versions. It is common for the seals to fail and begin leaking oil around the base. So when OE fails, trust Standard. Here's why. To begin with, standard replacement oil filter housings come completely assembled, so all you have to do is drop it in. They include a new oil cooler. The oil filter and cap are already installed. They also include a new oil pressure sensor and oil temperature sensor. The standard housing comes with all new gaskets and hardware, so you won't have to reuse any of the old, worn pieces. Standard housings are vehicle-specific, not universal, and are designed to use the correct oil filter cataloged for the vehicle. Now, that may sound obvious, but some other oil filter housings are universal and may not use the oil filter designed and cataloged for the same vehicle. You can imagine how much confusion that will cause when it's time for an oil change. It is important to remember, these are not just housings, but also oil coolers. That is why vehicle manufacturers have spent hundreds of hours designing these assemblies to make sure they meet the cooling requirements of today's engines, and why the OEs have chosen to use high-temp synthetic materials. Standard oil filter housings are made from a high-temp synthetic material that matches the heat-dissipating characteristics as the original. This helps keep the oil cool and keeps the engine operating in the range that OE intended. Some aftermarket companies have altered the OE design and specification and tried building oil filter housings out of metal. If you have ever touched the metal handle on a skillet, you know how easily metal retains heat. Standard oil filter housings also include detailed installation instructions with torque specs to make installation faster and easier. Standard oil filter housings, completely assembled, ready for installation, vehicle-specific filtration, and correct cooling characteristics. What's in your box?